River Landing. It's time for mat yoga. As always, I gotta do my caution. Just remember that if you find that you have a hard time getting up and down off the floor, maybe this class isn't for you and we could do chair yoga together at 11, because we will be getting up and down from the floor in this class. So if it's okay for you to do the chair yoga, that would be fine too. Otherwise, please join me. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's take a big deep breath. Good. And then bring your hands right in front of you. Close your eyes and breathe just for a minute. Take some nice big deep breaths. Relax that body. Soften. See what feels the best. Good. What muscles hurt? What muscles are tight? Just kind of get that feeling. Breathing nice big deep breaths. Let's open those eyes up. Let's take a big deep breath. Inhale. And let it go. One step out, just a little step. Inhale, lift. Bring those shoulders down. The arms stay up. They're slightly in front, so we're not way far back. Just slightly in front. We're going to grab that wrist, bring it up, and pull right here. Hold it. Now push that opposite foot, or the same side, really. Push that same side foot in to get the best stretch here. Soften your knees. Don't lock those knees out. Inhale, let's lift, shoulders come down, pull and tug it, pushing that opposite foot into the floor. Good, and then let's bring it all the way down, roll those shoulders, big breaths, make sure we're breathing. Good. We're going to do a lot on the floor today. However, I wanted to do one little series for our feet before we got to the floor, feet and ankles. So take a step back. We're going to put one foot forward, and maybe I'll turn so that you can see. We're going to put that one forward. We're on the top of our foot. We're on the ball of our foot. We're going to rock back and forth. And I want you to think about rocking into the foot and then pushing away with the thigh. Good. So rock it here, push. Rock into the toe. See if you can come up even further on that toe. Rock it up and back. Rock it up and back. Good. All right, now hold it here. Hold it right here. Nice tall posture. Oops, I got a cramp. Good. If you get a cramp, remember, put it down and just move it up and down a little bit. Massage that calf. Good. Now, we're going to stay forward just a little bit. I'm going to move my back just a little. And I want you to roll. Roll through the ankle. I'm going to turn so you can see here. Roll through that ankle. Good. I'm kind of on the tippy toe. And I'm rolling through that foot. Good. And then roll the other way. Roll the other way. Good. All right, so we're just trying to loosen that ankle just a little bit. Now, still working on that same side. If you need your chair for this, we're going to do it's a one-leg thing. So if you need your chair, you can turn it however you need to. So we're going to take our foot, and I want you to go on the top of your toenails. So I'm not on the ball of the foot, but I'm actually on the top of my toenails. And we're going to bend and straighten right here. We're stretching the front of that leg. We're stretching the front of the shin, if you will. Good. If you need to, you can always put a towel underneath that foot. Or put it on a pillow to lift it a little bit. So I'm just bending, just a minor bend in the front leg. Stretching here. And then let's hold it right here. A little bend in the leg. I'm stretching through the foot, stretching through that ankle. Good. Oh, and then plant that foot. March it out. That standing leg gets a little tired, doesn't it? Don't you worry, we're going to stretch those out. So let's do that other side. So the toe goes forward, and we're going to push forward and push back. Good. Push forward in. So we're trying to lift through the arch of the foot, lifting up so we're more on the ball of the foot. So try to lift up through the foot. We're stretching through those toes, stretching through that area where we call it, plantar fasciitis. That's your plantar fasciitis area right there. Good. I've been having problems with my patella, so the only thing I could think of was patella tendonitis, and that is in your knee. All right, and so let's do that roll. So take that foot, let's roll. Good. We're up on the ball of the foot here. Roll the other way. Now we're going to do that harder one. So if you need your chair, you could face your chair holding onto that chair. We're going to go on the top of the toenails here. Good. And we're going to do an ever so slight bend of the knee. We're going to rock just a little bit. We're up on the top of the toenails. I'm not on the ball of the foot. I'm on the toenail. I'm really stretching through that ankle. Can you feel it? It's a deep stretch. We don't do this very often, do we? No, we're just trying to loosen all those muscles up before we get to the floor. Good. All right, last one, just hold it here. Good, a little bend in that front knee, feeling that stretch into that ankle. Good, and then let's come all the way up. Good, bring those feet to the floor. Good, so right to the front. I want you to roll to the outside of your foot. Hold it here, stand tall. A little lean forward if you can, not a big one, just a little bit. I feel like my belly's pooching out just a little bit. I'm pushing forward, stretching through the side of that leg. Shin splints, this is a great exercise for shin splints if you ever get those. And put that foot down, let's march it out. Good, let's do it again. Roll to the outside of that foot. Good. Hold it here. A little lean forward if you can, not a big one. It's not, I don't want anybody tumbling over. All right, and put that foot flat and march it out. Good, oh, let's give them a little bit of a kick. So for today, I need you to have your strap and your blanket or a towel for your knees, because we'll be on our knees for just a little while today. And so I want you to take some precautions should you need that. So let's go ahead, we're gonna come right to the floor. So we're gonna inhale, lift. Exhale, bend those knees, come right on down. Good. Now, I am gonna use my towel today. So I want you to fold your towel any way that you feel comfortable so that there's enough of an edge that you can hang your knees over the edge. And I'm going to turn this way so that you can kind of see. I don't know if that's enough of an edge, so I'm going to go up a little bit more. Good. And I'm going to come up so that my knees are on the blanket or towel, but they're kind of hanging off. So can you see that? My knees are kind of hanging off there. Okay, and I need to scoot back. I'm too far forward. Good. Okay, so I'm going to face you. Let's see if this works for me here without the mat turn. So let's start, you know, my favorite thing to do is that cat and cow. So let's start with cat and cow. So we're going to inhale and lift and curl. I'm going to turn, I think. That would be better. You stay where you are so that you can see me. I don't want you to have to be craning your neck to see me. So cat and cow at your own pace while I punch around here. Oh, that feels good, doesn't it? Good. Hands are right below your shoulders, knees are below your hips. Good, I'm gonna keep going. I'll get it. All right, one more. Stop and pause in either pose. Oh, and just feel that stretch. Good, elongate wherever you are, through your spine, through your tail. And then switch poses, whichever you were doing, do the opposite. Elongate through the spine and stretch. Good. And then let's come to that neutral pose. So earlier we were doing some things with our feet, and we're going to continue that a little bit right here. So we're going to take one foot back, and I want you to come to the ball of your foot this time, not the tippy toes, but or not the toenails, but the ball of the foot. See, I'm on the ball of the foot. And then I want you to push back and hold it. We're stretching into the calf and the Achilles tendon area. Good, feeling that stretch all the way through. Don't lock your knee. Good, this is a lot of time on the shoulders, so if you need to take a break, you can always come up on your knuckles, or you can always come down to your forearms. Good, pushing back into that heel. I'm pushing that heel backward. Looking at the floor, you don't need to look at me, I'm still here, same position for one more breath. Good, let's bring that knee in, let's do the other side so that leg goes out. We push back, pushing that heel back towards the back wall behind you. Good, you're on the ball of your foot here, your toes or the ball of your foot. Good, pushing back, building strength in those shoulders too, aren't we? Breathe, make sure you're breathing. One more breath. Good, let's bring that knee down. Let's come back into child's pose. And you can pick your child's pose how it looks. It could be reaching forward or swinging those arms back into rabbit. And we're just relaxing for a moment, resting, bringing your head to the floor, or a block, pillow, a book, whatever works. Let's come up again. So we're coming up again, we're going to do that same move with a little variation. So we're going to take that foot back again. Here's that Achilles stretch. But this time I want you to swing it behind you on an angle. Good, and then I want you to, on the ball of the foot, pushing that heel back, and now you're going to feel a stretch not only in the calf and the Achilles, but also in that hip. So just, I swung it back behind. If this doesn't feel good, go back to what we did before. Right? So if this is too much for the hip or too much for the body, you can change it. Still pushing that heel down, still stretching through that calf muscle. Nice big deep breaths. Good, I know this is a lot of work on their shoulders, we're building strength there. All right, let's bring that leg in. Other side, so the foot goes back and then we swing it back, pushing into the ball of the foot, pushing that heel towards the floor, feeling that elongating through that side of the hip. Good. Oh, that feels good. And breathe. All right, let's bring it in. Let's come back for that child's pose. Take that breath. Take a break. Give those shoulders a break. We can swing those arms back. All right, let's come on up. I'm going to turn my mat just a little bit so that you can see a little better. There we go. Okay. Lost my hair tie. Okay, so here we are. We're still on those knees, so hopefully you have your padding for your knees, right? Okay. So we're going to reach one arm out. I'm in that tabletop position. Reach one arm out. I'm going to palm it down. I'm going to take it, flip it, palm goes up. And I'm going to come down to my shoulder. Now here, some of us maybe can't get here. So if you have a block or a pillow you can put under your head, that would be a good thing to do, right? It's just so that you can get your head onto something. And we're breathing. The other arm is at the 90-degree bend. Palm is on the floor. Good. Let's inhale and come up. We're going to do the other side. We reach out, palm is down. We reach with a palm up, bringing that shoulder to the floor or maybe to a block or a pillow. Pushing through that shoulder. So I'm pushing gently into the shoulder to feel a stretch right at the top of the shoulder. And we're breathing. Good. All right, let's push ourselves up back into that tabletop position. Remember, there's a break for those wrists right here. We could be on our fists or we could be coming down here to that forearm. Either one is fine. So we're gonna go back to that arm that we first started to use. We're gonna take that arm, stick it out to the floor, and we're gonna put that palm on the floor, and we're gonna slowly release ourselves so that we come down. Maybe we're on a pillow or a block, and we're turning our head away, trying to get that shoulder to the floor. Relaxing, releasing, pushing yourself back a little bit like a child's pose. That may help you get that shoulder done. And you may not get it done. You might need to have that block or pillow underneath it. Or the towel that you have in the blanket. Holding here, breathing. All right, let's push yourself up. Let's do that other side. So that arm comes out, we bring ourselves down, push back a little bit like we're going into the child's pose, turning the head away. Good, I'm trying to push that shoulder slightly into the floor, or if I have my head up in a pillow, into the pillow, or a blanket. Feeling that good stretch into that shoulder. One more breath here. Good, let's come on up. Let's give our shoulders and our knees a bit of a break. So come on down, have a seat on your back side. Yay, right? Everybody's cheering, I think. We're coming back to that knee position though. So we'll just take it right here for a minute. So I'm gonna turn to the side so that you can see me. Good, and we're gonna work just a little bit on some core muscles. I'm thinking Thursday we'll do Pilates. So we'll do probably more than half the class will be Pilates. So if you enjoy Pilates, share that with your friends, ask them to join us. So bring those fingers so that they're facing your back. And I want you to lift your head and chest right here. Pull your shoulder blades together. And let your head kind of come back and rest. This is not a position I would recommend very often. It's just a quick stretch here. Some of us, this may make us dizzy. So be cautious. All right, let's take that head, bring it forward. And I want you to keep your hands over the arm, but bring those shoulders forward and go concave in the belly. And then inhale, lift. This time, don't let the head hang. Once is enough, right? Good, the head is heavy. Exhale, curl through that spine. Good, and inhale, let's lift. For those of you that want to go a little more advanced, we could extend those legs out and push up into that reverse plank. You choose where you want to be today. Okay? You could be either place here or in that reverse plank here. Keep that bottom lifted for 4, 3, 2, and last one. Ooh, that was a lot on that shoulder too, wasn't it? So let's come forward. Good. Push your belly through your legs here. Just stretch just a little bit into that lower back. So I'm going to turn forward. Let's bring those legs out wide. Good. Sitting up nice and tall. Now, if you find that when you sit here, you feel like you're sitting in the bucket seat, everything is tilted backward, I want you to grab your towel, your blanket, a pillow, and sit on it so that you're sitting up tall. Another thing is we can pull some of the skin from behind us backward so that it pushes us forward, okay? So again, I want you to take those hands, bring them so that the hands are facing the bottom, this time not leaning back so far. And I want you to take your feet, we're going to turn them out, turn them in. So we're working into that hip, turn them out, turn them in, working that hip. Good. Out and in. It feels kind of weird, doesn't it? Some of us just naturally go one way. You see babies a lot of times, they'll just naturally fall and their feet hit the ground. We aren't that flexible anymore, but we're working on it, aren't we? All right, now let's flex those feet, bring the toes forward. We're going to come forward, nice tall spine, pull out some skin. We're going to walk it forward if you can. Good, not going too far. For those of us that can, we can come a little further, pushing that chest forward. Pushing the hip forward, so I don't want you curled too much at the torso. Ears and shoulders are still in line. Good, let's walk those arms over to one side. Maybe we're reaching for the foot. Maybe we're trying to put our nose to our knee. Relax those hamstrings and breathe. Breathe, nice big deep breaths. Good, let's walk it back to the center and then to the other side. Maybe we reach for that foot. You don't have to, just do what feels good. If this is already enough of a stretch for you, maybe you don't want to reach for anything. Nice big deep breaths. Good, and then let's walk it all the way up. Let's bring those feet together. So we're not actually going into butterfly pose here. Again, we can pull that skin. I want you to be tilting forward in the hip. So the feet are together, but they're away. So I haven't done this. I haven't pulled them in for that butterfly pose. I pushed them out and away. We're going to teepee those hands and bring them right over those toes, pulling your chest towards the heels, putting your nose maybe in between those heels if you can. If you can, make sure someone takes a picture so I can see it. That'd be cool. I can. All right, so we're reaching forward with the chest, pulling, stretching through that hip. And that pelvis is tilted forward, and my ears and shoulders are still in line, so I'm not curled in the spine. The spine is long. Big breath. Pulling, stretching those inner thighs. Can you go down just a little bit further? I can, just a little. Good, now let's come up. Bring those legs right here. Let's just rock a little bit side to side. A little bit side to side. All right. Did you know that you can do a piriformis stretch right here, sitting up tall? So let's do it. Okay. So, I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see. So we've been in this position today quite a bit with the palms facing, your palms on the floor, fingers facing your bottom. So I want you to keep your knees bent, but we're going to bend those elbows, cross one foot over the top. Good. Now there's two things we can do. One, we could slide this leg that's on the floor down, or two, or both. You can do one and two. Push yourself forward. There's that piriformis stretch right there. Flex the top foot. That's going to make a difference. Pushing that chest forward. Push that chest forward. Good. All right. More than you wanted, right? More stretch than you wanted there. All right. So let's go ahead and come back. Let's uncross those legs. And we're going to do the other side. Good. Sorry about that. All right. I thought I had a good battery there. So let's cross here, bending those elbows. Then we come forward, flexing that top foot. Good. We're sitting up nice and tall. Now we have to do this side for a really long time, right? Because we did it long on the other side. Holding here, breathing, stretching yourself forward, breathing. Maybe you can rock those legs a little bit side to side, getting a deeper stretch. Keep flexing that top foot. Good, breathe. Nice big deep breaths. All right, one more breath here. There we go. And now those arms, right? Wow. Draw those wrists. Yeah, let's roll those wrists, sit up tall. Okay, so we're going to come back a little bit to that knee position we were on earlier. Okay? So grab your towel or your blanket. And I'm going to face forward. But don't worry, we're not going to be too much on our wrists this time, okay? Okay, so we're in on those knees, hands and knees, but I want you to take one foot and bring it forward and come all the way up. So we're in kind of a runner's lunge position, if you will. So we're going to start standing up nice and tall. Or we're up nice and tall. Take your front foot and we're just going to pull it forward just a little bit. And you should be on your mat. I'm lucky in that this floor is sticky, otherwise I'd be having trouble. So from here, I want you to go ahead and push yourself forward. We're going to stretch through the hip. Good, and push yourself back. Good, so stretch forward. You should not have your knee way over your toes. You should still be able to see your big toe. Good. All right, and then come up. One more time, let's come forward. Let's reach an arm up. It's the opposite arm that's from the leg that's forward. So if your right leg is forward, it's your left arm coming over to the side. Big stretch here. Good. This is a nice hip stretch here. A little more advanced, right? Good. All right, let's bring that arm up. So we're going to take our hands, we're going to bring them to the inside of that leg. And I want you to go ahead and push your hips back ever so gently and then rock it forward. Push that hip back ever so gently and rock it forward one more time. Hold it here, push your chest forward, lift the toe just a little bit. If this does not feel good, put it on the floor, push those hips forward. Good. Now let's push that hip forward again, bring that foot back so it's about a 90-degree bend. We're going to keep the inside hand on the floor, take the outside hand and reach out. Notice that I'm leaning into my leg a little bit for stability. Big stretch here. Bring that hand down. We're going to revolve this. It's a reversal. So now the outside hand stays on the floor and we're going to turn and twist the other way. Good. And bring that hand down. Now let's take that foot. We're going to bring the foot back. Keep the feet nice and, or the legs nice and wide. And we're going to push back into those hips right here. It's a modified frog pose. Stretching into that hip ever so slightly. If it hurts your knees, come forward. All right, let's come on up. Let's do that other side. Good, so come on up, bring that foot forward. Coming all the way up. Oops, sorry. Coming all the way up, there we go. We start with that rock. You should be able to see your big toe, so scoot that foot forward, scoot it forward. We're stretching into that hip on this side, on that right side, if you're the same side as I'm on. Good, rock it back and forth. Just don't do the same side twice, right? You want to get some benefit here on each side. So come forward, hold it here. Inhale up that arm. It's the arm that's opposite the leg that's forward, and then we come over to the side. Whoa, big stretch there. Feeling that stretch. Oh, I feel it right into my knee even. Wow. Good, let's bring it up. Let's bring those hands to the floor. And they're inside, both hands are on the inside of that leg that's forward, and we just rock back and forth. And you decide how big your rock is going to look, right? For some of us, maybe our rock isn't so big. For some of us, our rock might be really exaggerated and moving as far forward as we can and as far back as we can go. Good. All right, now let's hold it to the back. Hold it to the back. Extend that hip. Feel that stretch in the hamstring. Good. Now bring that knee back up. Scoot that foot forward. It's okay if you have to grab it. That's okay. Bend that knee. We're going to keep the inside hand on the floor. We're going to turn and twist. Notice that I'm pushing against the leg for stability. You can do that. Because otherwise we're a little tippy, right? Breathe. All right, and then let's bring it down. Let's reach it up the other way. Big stretch. And bring it all the way down. Let's bring that leg in. Bring those legs a little wider. Turning your feet to the outside if you can, and we're going to come back into that frog pose. Stretching into that hip. I'm not going to be able to go back as far this time. You stretch to where you're comfortable. One more breath. And then let's come all the way up. All right, have a seat. I'm more twisted. Okay, so let's grab our strap. We have just a few more minutes left. Push that chair away a little bit more. And come onto your belly, okay? So we're going to come onto our belly. We don't need that towel anymore for right now, so we can put it to the side. You know what? If you're already to your belly, I'm sorry, but go ahead and sit back up. We're going to take our strap, and I want you to make a loop with your strap if you can. So a loop like that, okay? All right, now come to your belly. All right. So some of us won't need the strap at all. When you see where we're going, you'll see it. Maybe you won't need it. And some of us will. Okay, so I want you to come all the way down. Oops, sorry. Roll to one side. And we're going to grab that strap, the loop on the strap, and bring your foot up, and I want you to lasso your foot to the ankle. See, it's on my ankle, right? Got my ankle. So now we're going to turn to the belly. Gosh, sorry. There we go. Okay, so turn to your belly. And I want you to grab that strap. And we're going to, hips are on the floor. We're looking forward. I want you to pull that strap, pushing those hips into the floor. So feel the stretches into the thigh, into the knee, right? Push those hips into the floor. We could come down a little bit on the chin. Some of us could grab that ankle, right? We could grab that ankle if we wanted. Flexing your foot, push your hips into the floor. That's where the stretch comes from. It's the hips being pushed into the floor. Breathe. Nice big deep breath here. Feeling the stretch. We're going to hold this a little bit. Your knees should be parallel with each other, so don't let that knee be sticking out too far. We can get into the bursa of our hip there. We don't want to do that. That gets painful. Good. Now release the foot just a little bit, and we're going to bring the heel towards the outside of the body, towards your outside of your buttocks. Now I want you to pull the heel in towards the buttocks and push your hips into the floor and feel that stretch. This is a very intense stretch. We don't do it very often. Modify it for how you need it for you. You could be holding the strap or holding your ankle. You choose. Breathe and relax. Stretching through that thigh. Holding, breathing. Good, now release that foot. Let's turn the heel towards the middle of the buttock and towards the middle of both buttocks, if you get where I'm going. And now push that heel towards the middle and then push those hips into the floor. Feel that stretch there. It's a deep stretch. That's the key though, is you have to push the hips into the floor. If you don't get the same effect. Good. Now let's release it. We're going to turn to the side, undo that strap. I'm stuck. And we're going to do the other side. So So roll to the other side. Lasso that foot all the way to the ankle. You go all the way to the ankle. Good. Okay. Roll back so that your hips are parallel with each other, so that the knees are parallel with each other. We're going to flex that foot. I'm sorry. Try not to have that happen. Flex your foot and pull that foot in towards your buttocks. Good. Pull it in towards your buttocks. Flex your foot, push your hips into the floor. That's where the stretch is going to come from. Push that hip into the floor. Feel that stretch. That's a good stretch, isn't it? Really works that thigh. It's hard to stretch the quadricep muscle, but we're doing it. We're doing a good job. Some of us could grab that ankle, right? We don't have to hold the strap. We didn't even need the strap, but a lot of us do, so I wanted to show it with the strap. One more breath here. Relax. Try to relax those legs. Let's take that heel to the outside. Good. Now we're going to pull in and push those hips. Pull those hips into the floor. Feel that stretch. Now you know what to do, right? If it hurts too much, you don't push those hips quite as far, or you release the foot. We're getting that deep stretch into the knee. Some of us can't do this anymore either, right? Because we've had knee problems. That's why we could use the strap and just get it as close as we can. One more breath here. Good. Now let's take that heel. We're going to bring it to the center of the body, the center of the two buttocks. And we're going to pull that heel in, push that hip towards the floor. Feel that stretch. Big stretches there. Breathing. One more breath. Good. All right, let's release it and roll over to the side. Take that strap away. And then we're going to come to our back and get ready for Shavasana. So here we are already at Shavasana. Good. So let's get ready for that. So find that comfortable position. Maybe you want your blanket or your towel strategically placed. Letting those muscles, just relax. Boy, that was a big stretch, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Maybe bring those legs to the floor. Just let everything relax. Let those feet turn out if that's what's natural for you. Just breathing this last couple minutes. This would be a great time to just shut the TV off and meditate, take a short nap. Just relax. Clear your mind of any thought. Slowly bring your focus back into this room and this time and place. Hold on to that quiet, feeling that calm. Sliding one foot to the floor and then the other. Rolling over to your least encumbered side. We put one leg out on the top, pushing up with the top knee. coming up to that seated style of your choosing. Good, I feel completely discombobulated here, but take a big deep breath in. Bringing those hands to prayer, those prayer hands come to your heart.